All right, so let's talk about air conditioning, right? So when I moved in here, well, yeah, it's been driving me nuts. I think it's easier if I just talk about it out loud. But the point is, especially in the middle of the day when it gets really hot and it's like 96 degrees in the summer here. Right now it is, or that's what it's going to get up to. It's a beautiful little converted patio, and I love this, right? It's a nice little office. You're basically in the middle of the forest. It looks like you own a forest or something. And it's just a normal suburban lot, right? However, because it's a sunroom, it has some fake little roof here, ceiling they tacked on. It's 2 to 3 degrees hotter even with a box fan running. The windows don't help, of course, because they never took those out. Why would they? With these fans running, it still is not too bad, that sort of thing. What's my point? Right, so it's been frustrating because I've ever so slowly tried to fix little things around the house. I did the caulking. I'm basically a caulking expert now, right? But it's frustrating because there was the people who came out to do the tune-up for the AC before I put the insulation up, because the AC was running all the time. I'm like, okay, maybe it's Freon, maybe it's an old unit, hooray. The first week I'm here at the new house, let's get a new AC, hooray. But the guy's like, no, there's no problems with the AC. The insulation's crap. Like you could see there was barely anything anymore. There were parts of the attic, significant parts of the attic, you could see the wood flooring, and there was just, right. So the insulation, that was done basically the next week. And, it's a foot of insulation. You can reach down there. They also did this room a little bit on the walls here. It's not as hot in here as well, so that's good. But the point is, I've been wanting to get an AC vent like that into here. All right? Because even though this is always going to warm up faster with the fact that there really isn't proper insulation there, it's all glass, and whatever heat's rising up here, yeah, I get that. However, it still is, if there's extra cooling going in there, that's not a bad thing, right? That's really not a bad thing. So I had a guy come out from another company to give me another estimate, right? Just to make sure. He was like, there's no way we can do this, right? He went up to the attic, he climbed all the way up there, and I think the insulation is really thick to the point where it threw him off. And as he's leaving, I'm thinking, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. Because if you look at the layout here, there's a vent here, right? Now, there's a wall that goes here, right? There's a wall that goes here. So there's enough space over here, whatever space there is over there, all right? There's enough space to put a vent there. Now, the patio is weird because there's a column. If you go downstairs and you look at the house, there's a column here. And as you can see, the patio is not flush with the side of the house. So the original patio probably has this extra space here, but it doesn't matter. This is some fake little siding. There's no proper attic there. But there's no difference between what's above here and what's above over here. The side of the house looks the same, except there's this little siding here that looks like a roof over here, right? So I'm thinking, well, wait a second. I mean, if there's 2 lines over here, right? 2 lines. Okay, draw a straight line from here to here, and then you match it up with that one, and then bam, it's in the sunroom. Because there's no difference between what's above here and what's above here. So if you can put this in here, you can put it in there. Deductive reasoning for the win. Right? And that's the thing is, yeah, the insulation is a foot high. You can't even see the beams anymore. Hopefully they don't, fall through the roof when they put it in. But the first people did give me a quote, and I was like, oh, I'll try some other people. But like, yeah, this guy comes over and he's like, oh, it's not possible. Not possible? Connect the 2 things over. Or not connect them, they're not connected, but if it can go that far out to the side of the house, then you can draw a straight line there because there's no difference above that. There's no weird, right, there's no difference here. It just, it's annoying. Another thing that I measured is, if you go up the attic, this is the center, right? So the fireplace is the center, And if you measure out from here, the center of the fireplace, and you go under this vent and you measure what the distance is here, right? That vent, you draw a line to here, and then you measure it there. That's about 6 feet. Now, would you also like to guess what is 6 feet to the left of me? Yes, it's in fact in here. Okay, so this seems parallel anyways, that you have this thing 6 feet from the center. There's enough space on that side, and there's some weird kitchen thing there, but that's not a real attic, right? Because there's no attic space there. You can see that that's just that, all right? But the point is, if this wall goes straight down that way, you have enough space to put that in there. You're going to have space enough to put in there anyways for that reason, right? Right. Let me see here. Because you do have these weird sloping walls that look nice. Now this is the wall here. Right, wall, and then that's flush with. So I've been driving myself mad about this. And I should have just, the first people who came out here, did the AC, and said there's nothing wrong with it, just get insulation, we've sprayed it off, that's fine. They did give me a quote. They were kind of hesitant to do so, but, which is a weird thing, like sell me stuff, okay? Sell me stuff, you're in business. And I was like, well, maybe I'll get some other people, but the only people who showed up and they're like, oh, we can't do this. It's like, how, of course you can do this. I've been up there, there's no difference on this side of the attic and this side of the attic. I think the insulation threw the guy off, and I think, you know, and I think the fact that there's some weird phony sloping roof that's not a roof threw him off, that, oh, there's not going to be enough space. Yeah, if you wanted to put an air vent on this sloping thing over here, yeah, there's not enough space for that for sure, okay? Because there's nothing, right, there's no space. I mean, you can see that that is just here, so... Yeah, you can't do anything there then, yes, but it's here, right? This is the wall, and then going up here, yeah, you can't put it like an inch from where it starts sloping. It's already inching above it in the actual attic. But if you go over a foot or two, and then voila, you see the other thing right over there, right? So if you draw a straight line from that to here, you go whoop, here, and there. Look at that. So anyways, I just kind of, I don't know. It's, because I've been thinking about it for this, not just this stuff, but, you know, what's the point of, you know, it's like, there's a couple little improvements that I want to do here, you know. It's kind of nice to have this area be a little cooler. You know, that's the disappointment, is all this trouble, and then it's like, it should work, because like during the middle of the day, it's on and off half the time with the insulation now. The reason I called originally about the AC was on these really hot days, it was working full time, right? And it's like, and sometimes it couldn't even keep up, all right? But like I just think it turned off right now. Let's see, I think you can see it down here. Yep, it's, see, it's not spinning. So yeah, it's on and off about half the time. So even though it's going to start to get hotter in that room faster, because again, glass and there's not much insulation above it anyways, blah, blah, blah. But because there's colder air there that's not, you know, brought in by a cheap fan, yeah, I think it should work. But it's just annoying. Like, I don't want, you know, this is not my job, okay? I'm just a caulking expert, right? A humble caulking expert. That's doing well. It's been a week. It's holding up great, you know? It's holding up great. But, and then like the oven thing was pissing me off. You know, this is called a drop-in oven. There is the freestanding oven that has like the controls on the back. There's the slide-in oven that slides in and is flush with the rest of the thing, but the controls are here. This is a drop-in oven as opposed to a slide-in oven, because you can't slide it in, right? You have to drop it in because this fucking wood is here. Now, would you like to guess what kind of ovens they don't really make anymore? This one is a 1985 original. Nice and original, you know. You'd think like this doesn't work. Oh, look at the elegance of lifting it up like some kind of car. You see? You know, so you go to Home Depot and you find drop-in ovens. You will find a grand total of maybe 2 or 3. You click on it. There's only one, and I saw that it was available in August 20-something. So for reference, it's July, what, 10, something like that. So if I wanted something, I wanted to just have something new. Sorry, you got to wait until the end of August. The other issue is, of course, you measure the sizing of it. That was freaking me out. What is, they're all 30 inches across. That's not an issue. What is the depth of an oven? Would you like to? Now, you can measure from here to here, right? Is that the depth? Well, you know, you got like this, right? This is the, right, okay, is that the depth? Well, what about the handle? Is that a depth? Nobody knows, okay? So then it's like, oh my God, nothing's ever gonna fit in here. Because I've seen some videos on YouTube where you get like a carpenter or handyman who saws out this part here, and then you can just have a slide-in oven, right? The problem with that is, of course, wait a second, look at this. There's a couple inches here that are missing. So if you have a slide-in oven, if it juts out way too much, well, that's gonna look weird. You're not gonna be able to open these. And then it's like, all right, well, let's push it all the way in. Well, then you gotta get rid of this. All right, and if you saw this off, you can't really have a slide-in oven because then it looks weird because then this backboard thing is like, what the hell is missing, right? Then it's like, fuck it, just have a freestanding oven with the controls on the back and then it covers up whatever you cut out here. And then it's like, who the fuck is gonna do this, right? Who the fuck is gonna saw into some one-piece laminate with a backboard that's, and then, I need like an assistant or something. Just fucking figure all this shit out, you know? Anyways, that's what I've been worrying about for no good reason. And that's a lot of fun, so, you know. I could actually go to Home Depot and say, all right, when these people say an oven depth is this much, are they really off by how much? Are they measuring this fucking thing? You know, are they measuring the handle or does it just go to the door? All right? Because it looks like the handle you can just put on afterwards, right? You just screw it out. But again, I could just, you know, I could actually go to the store and see this for myself instead of catastrophizing. But that's how it happens, you know? And that sort of sucks because I want everything done right now. And yeah, so I guess talking about it, I guess this is, I don't know if this is going to go up. Does anybody, you know, anybody like watching me ramble about how I can't fix stuff and how everything's going to be a disaster, but it's really not a big deal, so who cares? Anyone like watching these? I don't know. I like talking out loud about it. It's kind of fun, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty annoying with the AC. And you might be like, wait a second, you just said that, wasn't there a quote from the original people like the first or second day they were here, and that was like 3 weeks ago? You could have already done this. Yeah, I certainly could have, yes. That is a case. But, no, don't tell me that if there's space here for that, along this line here, and no, do not tell me this. This is why you need to learn basic geometry, people. This helps. It's deductive reasoning. There's no difference on the attic over there than here. It looks a little different because of that thing, that little, well, that thing out there, that roof-looking thing. But there's no fundamental difference over here on the whole side of the house. So if it fits there from that far off the wall, then you're going to have something that fits in there that far off the well, there's no wall here, but again, the same concept. If you didn't have this extra foot or two here, and you had a wall here, and you had a smaller little extra room, well, you have the same wall, and you'd have the same attic above it, right? So it would work out right. So it's like, really, you send out somebody who does not know basic geometry. You know, that's what we're getting at here. You know, it looks like I'm an AC vent expert as well. not just a caulking expert now. Good to know. You know, let me get my hammer and just start smashing things. And anyways, so what's my point? You know, and then you have to worry about, is the airflow going to be strong enough? Because where's the airflow here? You know, it doesn't look strong. Oh my God, I don't know. Well, whatever. We'll figure this out. So anyways, that's it. And yeah. All right, so let's see here. Is it close? I don't know. Who cares? The point is, yesterday I was bitching maybe about the oven. I don't know if I'm even putting that up, but just so the problem with the oven is it's a drop-in oven. You see, there's cabinetry there, and it looks nice and sleek. Of course, guess which oven they don't make anymore, really? You go to Lowe's.com or Home Depot, there's maybe two. There's maybe two, literally, out of thousands of ovens, okay? And then you're like, well, what about the height? How do they measure the depth of this? It's 30 across, who cares, that's fine. How do they measure the depth? Because if it juts out like this, you already have issues here with the cabinetry, right? It was already, I think it was like this, and then it broke. But it looks like they sanded it, so maybe, I don't know, doesn't matter. And this is an 85 oven, 85 microwave. And I'm thinking like, okay, when this fails, what the fuck? Like, I can't just order an oven here because this is 24 inches about, you know? 25, 26 if you do this. Everything's a bit bigger. The freestanding ovens with the back stuff, well, you need to knock that out, you know? The slide-in ones, you'd at least need to knock this wood out, and then maybe you can slide it in and it still looks sleek, but how does it actually fit? Does it look, oh, who knows? I don't know. And then it's like, fuck it, just, if you're gonna have somebody, not me, because I'm just the caulking expert here, right? If you have somebody knocking that shit out, fuck it, just might as well knock that out, right? And then I'm thinking, okay, it's not just the oven, because there has to be a vent for it. This little microwave vent is here, and what's been pissing me off about it is, there's always been, what do you call it, leaves here. You know, there's always been leaves here, and I'm thinking, wait a second, this is a microwave vent. A lot of these tend to be these recirculating ones that don't take it out, right? And I'm thinking, but wait a second, if it goes out, I can imagine that there's some leaves that fall in or something like that, especially since, you know, this is an old piece of crap. So curiosity got the better of me, and I said, let me take this box out here, right? What is in this box? I kept tapping on it. It can't be the power. There's no power. There's not like a generator or a motor above a microwave. Like, that makes no sense, and it seemed pretty hollow. So I took the silver metal tape, or whatever you call it. I took it out, and under it, it looked like it was a goddamn nest. I'm thinking, okay, there's obviously no connection with the, and I'm thinking maybe there's some wall. I couldn't see on the roof because all the trees covered and everything. I was outside. I couldn't see anything on, I couldn't see whether there was or wasn't. But I'm thinking, what the fuck? How is it possible? Like, this is the vent here. I don't know if there's enough light here. But when the vent is turned on, this little flappy thing, okay, that's the, right. It's a fucking nest here. Like, what is this shit? This is not falling here. And then I'm like, oh, it must be that hole. They custom cut that hole out if you want to vent on the side, like a normal vent, potentially, maybe. I don't know. That's the only issue. Because you look at the box that was in here. This is the front, right? This was up there. And they have a custom built top hole for it because it's supposed to be a vent, right? Well, you can't vent because there's just no place for it to go up unless you want to cut through the slanted ceiling. But there is a custom cut hole here. So I think they put these in thinking, oh, good Lord, is there something dead in here? Is that mouse hairs? Jesus Christ, that's disgusting. Is that blood? I don't smell anything, so that could be the grease. Ugh, it's already a mess here. But anyway, so I would always put the vent on. Let's see what miracles. Oh, Jesus. But to a much lesser degree, this is what was happening with it. And I'm sure it wasn't venting very well because, again, this microwave is older than fucking Chernobyl here, okay? But I was thinking, like, okay, why are there leaves? Like, this does not seem to vent outside, and thankfully that has just been confirmed to me after I ripped off this box here. It obviously doesn't go up, but it doesn't go outside to the side. So I'm thinking that's the wall there, right? It's the pink stuff, the insulation. All right, you can see, maybe you can see that. I should have brought a flashlight. That's the flap here, and then you have pine needle. What is this? What is this, an arboretum here above the cabinet here? It's ridiculous. You know? I'm not even sure I understand the concept of this vent here. Like, if it's a recirculating thing, what, the recirculation just goes into this, like it doesn't do it internally? You have to have some cheap-ass box for it? You know? But this, you know, this brings us closer to a solution here. Because I thought, oh my God, you know, there's something wrong with an outside vent that's probably not there. It looks like... Now, thankfully, there's, well, I haven't dug hard enough. There doesn't seem to be any dead animals in here. So that's, you know, that's always a positive thing here. I don't smell anything, and I have a good sense of smell. You know, so I really don't smell anything awful here. This wonderful, But that explains it. There must have been some animal that made a nest here, I don't know how many years ago, and it must have come through the wall. And of course, why would you want to seal, you know, why on earth would you want to seal? And I don't even know if this works properly. Like, it seems to me that they put this box here so it ventilates out, or should ventilate out. Does it come back? Not that it matters, because I want to replace this piece of shit. Okay, but has this ever ventilated as it should? Is this a proper recirculation vent to where it goes into this box, kind of goes there? You have an unplugged hole to a random wall that doesn't have a hole in the back. You know? Oh, good Lord. You know? And it's like... I just want to fix things so I have a sense of things are working. I mean, there's a lot of other issues. Oh, there's a lot of other issues. I went to Home Depot to measure out ovens today. Just to, you know. And it gets pretty existential. Like, what's the point of all of this? You know, am I going to be really that much better with a fucking oven here? I think I would be. I think if there wasn't leaves everywhere here, every time I try to cook. Well, I don't use the vent and then the whole house smells weird. But no, this gives us some options because at least we can maybe vent on the side here. I think if there's any contractor or something, I'll ask on Reddit or something if what my options are here. But it doesn't make any sense to me that there is a vent here. You know, this is the flappy vent that goes up. That's why it's spewing all this stuff out here. But is this a proper vent anyways? Like, even if we're talking recirculation, the filters are right here. So it sucks it up through here, and it should throw it back out here. Is that how you do it? There's like a little box above it. But then why didn't they plug the back of it? Like, some of the stuff is just being thrown back into that hole for no reason. There's nothing too greasy here, but then again, I'm sure anybody was cooking here figured this out, that you're not supposed to use the vent. But this is a fucking nest here. Like, this is insane. Okay? This is a fully fledged nest here. Christ almighty. I am actually glad with this, though, because it's like, I understand this a little better now. Namely that you probably can vent through the side if there's anything new coming in here. Because they're like, oh, you have external, convertible, recirculation. I don't know what these things mean. You know? Because I was also thinking like, oh, you could, like a bunch of, I downloaded, I went to har.com, this is in the Houston area, and that's like the big realtor website where they list all the homes. one advantage of Har.com is they never take down old pictures. So if there's two or three streets with this same house here, there's some split level ones like this. There's some that are not split level. This main story here, this is the second story here, that's their first story. It doesn't matter. The houses are similar size, done by the same company, etc. And you can then get very good little ideas of, oh, this is what they did to update their house. Now, I'm not going to spend money updating. Like, I thought about it, I was like, oh, the cabinets are prettier. Like this idiocy here, you know, this thing. Somebody thought this was a good idea how many years ago, okay? Now, you can put literally nothing here, okay? You can put some tea, but notice how far it goes back, right? Like, right, it goes pretty far back. It goes back another 2 feet. Now, how the hell are you supposed to put anything in here if it goes that far back? It would make a lot more sense to have extended this thing here, right? Because there's a bigger opening here. Did they do that? No, because they're fucking retarded, and I hate this about these things. But the point is, okay, is this really worth spending thousands upon, probably 10,000, 20,000 renovating a kitchen because some person didn't think, hey, this is a bigger opening, so fucking stick the deep thing in there, or hell, if you can't even be creative and do something more interesting with it, right? Oh, I can't even. Oh, I can't even. Oh, we discover new fun things every fucking day. So the depth of this cabinet that goes unnecessary, right? Now look at this shit. They didn't even extend it all the way. Look at these fuckers. They could have extended this, right? Made a nice deep one. It would have been easy. And then this could be a nice little display thing for, I don't know, 2 cups of tea here, right? I just can't even. The sloppiness. You notice this with a house after you move in. You know, the sloppiness of some things where it's like, you people were really phoning it in. You people. Oh, there's a connection there. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Unfucking believable. You know? But I am somewhat glad to be walking on my countertops here. But you know, that's the thing is, oh, we'll do granite and it'll look pretty. It's like, you know what? This looks like a cheap apartment in some ways, but it's clean. The people who lived here didn't really use it very much, or notice that, I don't know, half the neighborhood's rats must be nesting here, you know? So it doesn't look, well, right now with all the garbage everywhere, but it really doesn't look stained. It looks original from '85, and it doesn't look like it's a disaster, even though I haven't even cleaned here in a week. You might be able to notice the spots, you know? And I was thinking with the dishwasher is, I looked it up, 2004 15-year-old dishwasher. It was made in June of June of 2004, and it was made in Ohio. Apparently, there's a website. I think I may have mentioned that before, but the point is, it's a 15-year-old dishwasher. It's better than the new one I had at the older house, you know. But then I'm like, ooh, I'll buy a new dishwasher at some point. Let me see what my options are. As it turns out, a lot of dishwashers now require much more space than you have here. The countertops from the bottom to the top of this is about 36 inches. But this is a few inches, and then this is a few inches, right? So technically, this is maybe like the 33.6-inch dishwasher. I don't think you could even put a 34-inch in there. So the options are constrained, right? And you're like, oh, well, we'll redo the kitchen, and then, you know. So basically, to pound out all this and make it 2 inches higher, because I'm a tall guy, it actually would be better if the cabinets were higher. I'd spend a ton load of money, ass load of money. But then you look at it and say, well, if you raise it, this little backboard here, well, what the fuck are you going to do with that? I mean, yeah, you ditch that too, but then you have the outlets, you have the windowsill, right? Like what, that's not going to be an inch from the, like that's going to look stupid too. So then you got to, it's like, you know what, fuck it. Just, you know, the cabinets are fine. What was annoying me about the last house is, again, you put your finger under here, and it would just sprinkle the sawdust that was coming off. Now there's some parts that may have had some water damage that have this here that annoys me. Right here. Oh, I didn't even, oh boy. Speaking of holes that are unnecessarily there, and the, okay. Speaking of that, oh boy, we're in for a real treat today. I got a heart attack almost from this a few days ago. So you're thinking, oh, this is a nice little thing here to have metal here, because there's always water stuff from the pipes under the sink. Well, that's exactly what they said after the disaster deluge must have come here, because look at this shit. You're thinking, oh, isn't that nice? Look at that, we're propping it up. It does look like it's caving in. And let's lift the white one. Holy shit, it's a giant hole. Okay. So that's fun. And, you know, I'm thinking, yeah, okay, I remember the old house had the same issue when I moved in, and it wasn't even this small of a hole. Like, basically the whole thing was caved in, and it was this sawdust stuff. Right, and it's like, okay, that's actually easy to repair. You just put a new one here or get somebody to do, because, you know, I'm a caulking expert from what you can see in this channel. I can't do all of this, right? But that's not that expensive. It's not a $20,000 remodel, right? Oh, yeah, this is dust. So, like, you put your fingers here, it's just like this because of the water damage, presumably. See? It sprinkles out like that. That's what all of the cabinets were at the old place. That was fucking annoying. Here, it's like, oh, this is nice. You know, outside of, let's see here. There's some issues here. Well, there's a lot of stuff here, but I don't know, some water must have spilled, but you have some similar things here. Yeah, this is peeling off here. And it's like, I don't know. I could talk to some handyman or cabinet guy or somebody anybody can call themselves a handy. Now, one thing that is fucking annoying, I will tell you that, is the cabinets are not adjustable, right? Like, there's just too much empty space here. Like, oh, maybe you could put I don't know. You know, maybe but it's like, am I going to spend 20 grand because, oh my God, I could use 3 shelves here and that thing could be better organized? No, I'm not. So I've been thinking, okay, what are all the things that a couple $1,000s could do, including buying a new appliance? You know, what is it? Because again, these drop-in things, oh, it's so cool. It's sleek there, and then, oh, you know, you can stare at the bottom of oh, it's so sleek. Oh, it's 1985. Oh my God. You know? And you know, I just can't even. I cannot even. But this is, I know exactly what's going on here now. We have some mouse friends who must have been laying some eggs here, as mouse often do. So no, this is good, and then maybe we can do an external exhaust. I imagine the external exhaust is better than, you know. Well, but I'm not getting this, right? Well, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't want to repair this. I mean, I'll get this crap out of here, and, you know, maybe. Because the other thing with the vent is it's kind of loud anyways. Now, maybe that's because all, you know, the mouse nest is vibrating here. I don't know. You know? But no, this really solves the issue that there must have been some animals coming in from there, going through the back hole of this, and then laying a nest there. And yeah, what a nice, comfortable little area for them, of course. Again, if there's no external thing and it's a circulating thing and you still need a box for it, which I'm still not entirely convinced, well, maybe it goes in there and then, I don't, who knows, who cares. But you seal the back of it off, assholes, you know? Like, it doesn't go outside. It could go outside, so thanks for the hint. But it doesn't go outside, as a matter of fact, because you can see that there's no connection out there, you know? So I'm glad my curiosity got the best of me, and I ripped off that tape and took it off, and now there's leaves everywhere. And pine needles. Look at this. Look at this. Are there even trees like this here? Like, I've seen maybe a couple of these piney trees here. It is a little north of Houston. You start to have these kind of trees out. Well, no, it's most, I don't care. You know, it's part of these things of, I just want to solve things, you know, just to feel a little better. You know, like, oh, I'm finally doing something, something's getting done. I don't know. It's annoying for sure. You know. And I did want to talk about some of this stuff. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's just, does it matter? Like, oh, it's a little bit, again, if the oven stops working and that, you know, it's kind of hard to cook with no vent anywhere. Is it worth it? Is it worth doing this? And part of it's like, okay, it's not going to fundamentally change my life if the oven's a little better. But, you know, it's a small little victory, I guess, if it doesn't frustrate me to no end. But, you know. But it's hard to talk. How many minutes? 20 minutes. Okay. No, we'll combine it with the other oven one. Yeah, that's fun. It's just, and in some ways, it's like, it's sort of a distraction from the bigger things that we haven't talked about. In fact, I think I'm uploading that soon. The, what do you call it? The video where I actually start reading that book. Oh, yeah. You know, is it a distraction from that to just do this stuff and get mad? Maybe. At the same time, you know, I can't really do too well. I could actually do a lot more about that, like actually reading that stuff, putting it out there. But in some ways, it still doesn't feel like a massive distraction to make your living environment a little better by spreading a mouse nest all over the kitchen. And, you know, I don't smell anything, so that's good. What is this? Oh, there's some rocks. Look at that. Some nice little mouse rocks. And some, I don't know what that is. It looks like some kind of flower thing or... But speaking of distractions, so yeah, it's in some ways it is kind of like, okay, I do want to make this place a little better. I'm going to be here for a while, hopefully. And, you know, I do like to cook, and it's just, you know, it shouldn't be that difficult to fucking suck the air out of it so that it, you know, it shouldn't be that hard, you know. But I'm very glad that, you know, I did this because I now know that this can go outside potentially. There is a hole on the side. There can't be anything. See, it looks like this is a custom-made vent box, right? And they taped over the top that was custom cut out, and they're like, hey, we're probably going to do something on the side. Oh, never mind. And then they didn't bother to seal that up. Because there's no reason, if it's a recirculating thing, but even a recirculating thing needs a box like this before it spits it back out over on that black top. You still would want to seal this fucking thing so that, you know, things don't come through crawling through the goddamn wall, right? Anyways. So yeah, it's in some ways I should be yelling more about this, you know, because, you know, I don't have too many people to talk to about this stuff. Because you will be forced to watch this if you want to watch this channel. If there's anything valuable, you will have to wade through this sort of stuff. But it is easier to talk about it out loud, you know. It's easier to sort of just kind of. It's actually good to have sort of constrained options, like, I'm not going to spend an assload of money to raise all of this, rip it out, so, oh, well, there's an extra inch here. That's what she said. And, you know, it's just, there's no point to that because the rest of the house, like the windows are kind of lower, right? You raise this an inch or two, and it's like, what, you're going to have that much from the window? That's crazy, you know? Like, that's retarded, too. So it's like, okay, we're just going to have to live with the fact that, you know, 2/3 or 3/4 of the newer dishwashers just don't have the height to come in here, right? I've measured it a million ways from sun. It's a standard 24-inch size, you know, across. There's some 18-inch ones, I think, that are like mini. This is a pretty decent, you know, size. It's a normal size, right? It's 24 inches here. Yeah. See, 24, 2 feet. So it's normal, but when you sit down here and say, all right, how much height is there? So we go from here. Let's very professionally just with a big toe, just hold. See, 33. What the fuck is? Okay, I must have. Did I say the wrong number? No, right. So let's not bend it too much. Let's do this. Hold on. And then this kind of pops up a little bit. You know, the floor, I don't even mind the laminate. It's just a little old. It's a little crumpled. I think it's a second layer laminate. They didn't bother taking the old. I like the softness. I like the warmness of it. You know, like I've been in some kitchens where it's like, oh, it looks so nice. But then it's like, it's cold. Like, it's not functional, okay? Fuck off with your nice looking crap that doesn't work. You know? So, you know, I can't even, I can't hold a camera. I can't hold a camera and a tape and, I should have a yardstick that would, you know, I'll have to buy a yardstick, you know, that's a good plan. I should, keeps hitting me. You know what, let's put this, you know what, let's put it here, perfect. You know what? And there's only 2 minutes left here. Don't worry, everybody. Here we go. I don't have my tripod on, so there we go. Well, it's not even 36 inches. Is it? What? What the fuck? Why was it 36 here? What the fuck is going on? Well, it's 36 and 3/4 right here. 36 and a half, 36 and 3/4, okay. How much of a difference is there here? Now, this is a little thicker here. 36 and, I think it's because, yeah, this pops up over here, but, there's half an inch of difference here. That's very, well, yeah, okay, I think it's a little thicker because that's where the laminate pops out, but let's say 35 and a, yeah, it's almost 36. But the point is, the area from here to here is 34 inches, right? And there's a lot, the standard size is like 36 and, you know, I don't know. The point is, it has been kind of fun being frustrated here. And let's see, is it off? Oh, we're going to continue this. We will continue this until I am pleased with destroying the kitchen even more. But yeah, it's one of those things where, okay, a 34-inch dishwasher fits in here, and that's it, right? And that's the other obsession I had today, where I did go to Home Depot and measure out some ovens, right? And it's like, okay, even accounting for the fact that you slice the cabinetry under there, so it's a slide-in. Even if you say it's a freestanding one with the controls on the back, you slice out that. How many inches do we have here, right? And I was thinking about that because it's also somewhat hard to measure these, but you can kind of measure that, you know, it's about blah, 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 blah. I need a yardstick. That's the next innovation we're going to get here in this household. Is this straight here? Okay. Let's look over it. The cabinet is what, 25? That's the other thing, is like this thing is a curve here, so you can't do that and then measure that, and no. It's you gotta float it in the air, and hopefully there's not too many, yeah, hopefully it's a right angle. And then you can peer over it and see that it's a 20. See, it's like, oh, is it 26? Is it, who knows these things? All right. Well, I mean, it's about 26 inches, and as you can see, this sticks out a little bit, so it doesn't, obviously it doesn't have to be flush with it. But if we say this is about 26 inch, 20, I don't know, 25, who cares? I don't even know. But the point is, this is definitely not, you know, with this thing over here, it's not 26 inches, right? It is 23 inches. And then it sticks out a little bit. It's broken here, so what are you even measuring? Who knows? But the problem is when you go to Home Depot and then on the website, first of all, they have like 10 ovens in stock out of 1,000. The stuff that they say on the website is in stock at the store. Half the time, it's not in stock at the store. But what I was going for is when they say on the website, this oven is 26.5 inches or it's 28 inches, right? What are they measuring, right? Because there's a couple depths that you can have here. You can have the depth of the surface area from here to here, right? You can also have from here to here and this, or the bar. Now, of course, as I found out, different brands do different things. One oven matched very closely with the back to the front of this thing, but did not include this thing, did not include the handle. Another brand included everything from the back to here. Some brands, the back, actually there's stuff that sticks out a little more in the back, so you got an extra inch there. Some models don't. So I don't really want something that juts out totally crazy because, again, that's kind of hard to open as it is, and it's like, oh my God. You know, I can't even, you know. But this does constrain our choices in a good way that we don't have to search for a million different things now. The drop-in oven, and again, I went to Home Depot and I found one drop-in oven that's probably 28 inches out. Now, again, I can't even measure what they mean by 28 inches because do they mean from here to here, from here to here, or including this? It was 28 inches. 28 inches. This is 25 inches from the fucking back. Cut that off, right? So, and that was literally the only one they had now. Okay, literally the only one. And I put in my zip code, and they're like, oh, it's back order until August 28. And it is July, what, 10, 11 now? So even if I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's just get it here. Sorry. And those drop-in ovens are a lot more expensive anyways, but then again, by the time we're done cutting out half the fucking house here, you know. But the drop-in oven X'd out. The slide-in stuff probably not going to work out either because those are too big and there's way too much space there. You know, I've seen one of the homes that I have looked at. Actually, I wanted to buy that one that was on the market recently. They did have a slide-in oven. It did look like they did renovate the kitchen, at least by painting it. I don't know what else they did with it. But they did paint the kitchen. They did paint the kitchen. And it looked like they took that part out, the wooden stuff on the bottom out, right? And they put it in a slide-in oven so it looks nice and sleek. But even with that stuff, like, there was one that was about 26.5 inches. That actually seemed to be about the same measurement from here to here. It was about the same size as this, maybe. But it's like, you know, you go online, you measure one that's an inch or two longer, and it just looks weird, and then it's like, fuck me, I'm stuck with this for the next decade, you know? But, because if you cut that part out, you definitely have an extra 2-3 inches, all right? That's what she said. Ugh. I'm going to have to look at this a little more. You know, I'm going to have to be a little bit more. But it was nice to be out there. Of course, I wanted to buy a little extra screw to make the sliding doors in the master bedroom work better. Of course, no, they don't have that. And it's a butchery what they did on the other sliding doors. There's like 5 or 6 screws that don't need to be there. Only one of them is actually holding the whole thing together. And I think I've talked about that before, but... No, but I'm actually glad with this mouse nest here. I'm very glad to be able to figure out that, oh yeah, this is this extra little stupid box that doesn't need to be here. And, you know, yeah, that's good. We can clean this out at some other point. And what time is it? 7 already, Christ almighty. The whole day just goes by. Hopefully I didn't, did I? I don't know, I might have covered up the sound hole. Well, I guess depending on Yeah, I don't have my tripod with me. Yeah, that'll be interesting. How muffled it'll be. It doesn't matter. It's good to just talk out loud about this stuff sometimes, even if it doesn't go up. I think these will go up. It's interesting. Well, I don't know about that. But, yeah, let's see here. Yeah, so I'm gonna spare people the cleaning out process, since I can't really do it with one hand anyways. But no, that's good. This is good. You know, I wasn't as well. I was worried. I'm worried about everything, but I was more worried about the oven fitting in here. But I was also worried about the ventilation of this fucking thing. You know, like, how do you do this? You know, this makes it easy because I know if you buy it from Home Depot, they're not going to be drilling out your wall that same day. So you do need somebody to hopefully do something there. You know, side ventilation hood, because it doesn't go up top through the roof. It goes through the side. And of course, there's literally like 2 inches with mine. That's the fence over there with my neighbor. So literally, you can, if you squeeze between the fence and the wall, you can maybe, yeah, go through the side here. So I don't even know how they're going to do that. You know, put like a, yeah, it twists this way and then twists out the, I don't even know. But at least I know what to talk. No, this is good. At least I sort of know what the issue is here. There's a mouse nest here, and you know. Now this stuff is a lot better, you know, or a lot easier. The microwave hood stuff. I've seen some places they do another thing, is they altogether get rid of the microwave here, and they just put a hood here. All right. So all there is a hood. Now, there's a crappy little microwave here. I've used this one because I don't use a microwave very much anyways. But now there's some slim microwaves that are like 1.1 cubic inches that instead of being so big. And some of these are really big, and then it's like, especially if it's not a slide-in but a freestanding oven. Then the controls are there, and then it just gets too cramped. I don't, you know, so more things to worry about, which is fun. Look at this, a leaf. How are these leaves here with no outside ventilation? Well, you know, yeah, be sure to check for random holes in the wall that don't lead anywhere because they didn't bother covering it up. Oh, for fun. The sloppiness of it all. So that sucks. And now notice another sloppiness here is they had to cut this area out when they were putting it in because it wasn't quite fitting in there. See, it looks nice. It's so flush with everything. Yeah, and then you have to do all these little hacks in there. Ugh. No. I can't even. You know, I just can't even. You know. So yeah, I'm going to have to find some handyman / appliance. There are some appliance people I've started to look at, and I don't know how much carpentry and sawing and going through the wall they would want to do, but at least we know what to ask about a little more. God, that's annoying. Well, anyways, I think I'm going to go swimming. I'll probably upload the... Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I guess you've already. If you're listening to this, I've already put it up. But just thinking out loud, I'll probably put up the one where I start reading about I start reading that book. You know, which is. But yeah, I guess let's end on a downer. We still 11 minutes into the. Yeah, second one in a row. So, well, maybe the battery will doesn't matter. So I've gone a bit mad and, you know, what we're gonna do is I've cleaned out a lot of the whatever nest that was up there with the above the microwave. Again, I've already explained it, not gonna do it again. Go see the previous video. But you know what you can see here is most of the garbage is gone. Most of the stuff is there's the vent over here that we mentioned. I don't know if it comes through. Hopefully it comes through. But it basically pops up here. It's relatively clean. Unfortunately, there still is stuff over here, you know, under there. I tried to reach under, but it's just, you know, there's that 2-inch crawl space there, and it just, ugh. But anyways, I'll use a leaf blower inside to get the remnants of that out, because why not, you know? Why not, you know? Let's see how that's gonna work. So here, I've done this before at the old house. Ugh. We're gonna have to disinfect this like there's no tomorrow. But boy, do I like cleaning at midnight. So that'll be fun. There's still stuff. Well, where's that? Well, look. It's not. Now notice it's not that noisy. This used to be so much worse, you know? And yeah, it's not like I'm going to make this so much better, but just to clean it out, because it's going to have to be cleaned out at some point anyway. As well. Now, that's not as bad as it used to be. It's not shaking as much, and it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It is pretty funny that, yeah. Hold on, is this a pine needle still here? Let me dig around in there. Let's see here. I wonder how much we can get. That's gonna fall. That's still gonna fall. We'll sort of have it like that. Well, anyways, I don't know. I just wanted to put this in here. We'll probably upload it with something else, you know, but it's kind of a fun sort of thing here, messing about with the kitchen.